We'll do step by step. I've already written the rule, but we'll go through the rule step by step and what all syntax I have used in writing that particular rule. So let's get started. So this is my EPBCS application in which I am going to write the business rule. So let me just show you the business rule for rolling operating revenue and let's discuss this. Alright, so this is my rule in which I am going to calculate the rolling operating revenue. Okay, so in this I have used the fixed expression, and under fix I have fixed an entity C_000 and relative function @relative function for year total for all the level 0 members, ampersand current year, which is my substitution variable FY22, and my scenario which I have fixed is actual. Next is calculating the operating revenue. In this I have used the function @average range. In brackets I have skipped missing. I have used the account number A_41000 and current member range as years and the level 0 members. In next line I have cumulative operating revenue, and for that I have used the syntax @accumulate ACCUM. Alright, and in brackets I have given the account name which I want to accumulate, and then I'm going to end it with end fix. And we should not forget to put the semicolon at the end of the formula. Okay, so I'll be writing this business rule and we'll be testing this in our smart view. So let's go to our application, go to navigator. In this, click on rules. As I've already told you, we go to rules, we drill down first the EPM cloud. In which plan we are writing this? We are writing this plan in plan 1. So right click on rules and create a new rule over here. So we are going to give the name as calculate _operating rolling _operating revenue. Let's just make it very short. Revenue of rolling revenue. Calculate rolling revenue. My application type is EPM cloud, application is EPBCS, and cube is plan 1. So we can write the rule in your preferred cube. If we are doing this for financial cube, we can do this for this cube and the other cubes. Okay, so click on OK. So I always prefer the edit script mode for better understanding of rules. So we have understood the rolling operating revenue rule, and we are going to test this in our smart view. So I have pasted the business rule over here in this new rule, and let's run this. So the rule validated with no errors. Let's deploy this now. And then launch this. So let's open the smart view. So I have done already over here, but I've done this for this entity. So we can also do this for another entity, but for that we'll need to change the fixed expressions from our formula. So currently I have written the business rule for entity C underscore 000. So let's just test it for some other entity. Let's go to our Vision application and see what all entities we have. So under dimensions, we'll be able to see the entities. Alright, so let's test this for C underscore 102. So we are just going to replace this entity with a new one because I already have figures in that entity. So I'm just changing that, and now let's save and validate it and just launch it, and we'll test the amounts and figures in our smart view. Now let's just launch this, open the smart view in another sheet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and I will change the entity's name in that sheet. Okay. Now do the ad hoc analysis. Alright, so in planning ad hoc, put your dimension members. Scenario is actual, version in which I am doing this is working, put the currency. I am doing this for no product, no intercompany, no LOB, no cost center, and entity I am going to change as C underscore 102. Alright, so just copy this. Control V. Alright, so now first refresh it. Okay, so here we can see the enable cells in which I will put the figures, and we'll test our business rule and we'll see what is the calculation done by our business rule. So in this account, revenue from domestic, I'm going to put some figures. Let's make it 100, 200, 300, but just wait, I need to make some changes in my grid. Put this in POV form. Let's do it from the scratch. Alright, so here in accounts I have 2 accounts. Alright, so C underscore 102 is my entity. Period is Jan. And let's do this for February and March. Okay, scenario is actual, version is working, put the currency, it's no intercompany, no LOB, and okay, so let's give the figures. Alright, now just submit the data. So what will happen over here is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch this again, and I'll just refresh it on the Smart View tab. Alright, so what I wanted to show you is this cumulative operating revenue is being shown as for the January month we have it as 100 only, but in the month of February it will get cumulated along with the figure of February. So I have 200 in the month of February, so 200 plus 100 comes to 300. Likewise, in the month of March, what I have 300 in the month of March, 200 in the month of February, and 100 in the month of Jan. So 300 plus 200 plus 100 comes to 600. And in the average operating revenue, I have it as 100, which is the average for 100 divided by 1, which is 100 for January month, and likewise for February and March. So let's come to our rule again. So basically this was the rule in which I have calculated the cumulative operating revenue, and likewise you can do this for the whole 12 months in which you want to calculate, and the financial year, and whichever entity you want to do it, you can do that. Alright, you can also use substitution variable over here, you can also use user variables over here, and there are various permutations and combinations by which we can write the business rule for doing this. So this was just one way, this was the simplest way which we could do and check in our smart view. Alright, so this was for calculating rolling operating revenue. Now let's go again to our system view and create a new window for a new rule. So the new rule and the next rule which I'll be telling you is rolling revenue for 12 months. This is a very simple rule, but the understanding it is a little bit typical. So I am going to give it as name rolling revenue. Okay. So I'll just quickly explain this rule to you. So in this rule, what are we going to do? We are fixing here the entity C_101. I have fixed a product P_211, and rolling sales equals to, I have used @sumRange function. Then in brackets I have used the account A_41000. This is the revenue account, and then next I have used the syntax @current member range. So basically in this formula the most important thing is understanding this part. So this is basically this means that for the period member, what I am going to do is for level 0. Let's take an example. Let me just explain you by the sheet which I have prepared. Okay, so basically this formula is calculating the 12 months sales. I have done it only till September, but when we'll do it practically, when we'll do it live, so I'll show you how the sales are being calculated, rolling sales for 12 months. So like in the January month, as you can see here, in revenue I have 1, in rolling sales I have 1. So why it is 1? Because let's go to the formula. So -3 basically indicates for the current month the sales will be current month -3. So like for let's take an example for month number 4, which is April. So for April it is the current month, so it is going to take the current month and -3. -3 means January, February and March, previous 3 months. So it will be the sales of January plus February plus March and plus April. Alright, and likewise in the next month, like in May. So in May what is going to happen is, let me just show you the Excel sheet. So what is going to happen in the month of May? Like, see, I have 5 over here in the sales. So I want rolling sales for -3 months. Okay, so current month -3. So 5 plus 4 plus 3 and plus 2. So it will be 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it will be 14 in the month of May. The rolling sales will be 14. Similarly, in the month of June, if my sales is 6 for the month of June, so -3 will be only these 3 months, March, April and May. So 3 plus 4, 7, 7 plus 5 and 5 plus 6, which comes to 18. Alright. So let's go to the calculation manager. Let's switch to the edit script mode. And test this business rule for some another entity. Okay, so let's do this for C10131. Okay, save and validate this rule. Deploy this, and now before moving ahead and before launching this, let me just prepare a sheet for this entity. Alright, so I have months and entity in the columns. Alright, now let's put other dimension members in POV range. So month is Jan, entity is 131. I am doing this for FY22. Account is A_41000. Scenario is actual. Version is working. USD, product is P_21111. So once we have done setting all the dimension members, just refresh it. Okay, so for all the 12 months, we are going to test this. Alright, so let's put rolling sales, refresh this as well. So let's take the figures as 10, 20, 30. Till 120. Submit this. Okay, so now we are going to test this by, we are going to first launch it and we'll see the change over here. Alright, so let's first put our business rule. Over here so that we can compare and we can check. So here -3, I have already told you what does this -3 indicate. Means current month, and -3 means previous 3 months. So we can test it as, we can take 1 over here. So what is this going to do? It is going to calculate it for the next month and then current month and then previous 3 months. So for this case, it is for January month, we do not have any previous month, so it is 10 for January. But for February, we have 20 for the current month, and I do not have previous 3 months, but I do have 1 month prior to February. So it is 20 plus 10, which comes to 30. Now in March, I have current month figure as 30, and I have previous 2 months, which is January and February. So 30 plus 20, 50, and 50 plus 10, 60. So it is in rolling sales, I have 60 in rolling sales. Then in next month, I have April as 40 as a revenue in domestic. So previous 3 months will be 40 is for the current month, and previous 3 months will be from January to March. So 10 plus 20, which is 30, 30 plus 30 for March, which comes to 60, and 60 plus the current month's revenue, which is 40, which comes to 100. Alright, but when we'll come to May, so as we can see here, the current month's revenue for May month is 50, but we can go previous only up to February, March and April. I have only 3 months, like from February to March, I have minus 3. And then the sales for revenue for May month. So 50 plus 40, 90, 90 plus 30, 120, and 120 plus 20, which comes to 140. So here it is 140. Similarly, it goes in the same way up till December. Now let's come to our business rule and let's check this for if it is not 0, if the current month, I have current month, I have plus 1, and I'll be going minus 3. Like if I have current month is my May, so minus 3 and plus 1, which is June. So let's just test this, but I'm going to do it hash missing for all the members so that I do not have anything submit this. Okay, so what I have done over here, I have used 1 over here, so it is going to calculate the sales for next month also. So let's first validate this and quickly just launch this. Okay, so now let's put the figures over here. Submit it. Okay, I need to validate it once again. Launch this. Okay, so now let's first take this image on our Excel sheet and we'll see the difference in the 2 business rules. Okay, so for this, earlier when we were testing for it for this business rule where I have minus 3 and 0, so it was doing calculation only for the current month and it was not taking the next month. But in the next formula I have given here 1, which means it will be calculating the sales for the next month also in the rolling sales column. So what this have done, so 1 plus 1 is 2, which is the next month's revenue, which is 2. So 2 plus 1 is 3. Since I do not have any minus 3 sales, means I do not have any month before January, that's why it is only 1 plus 2, current month plus the next month. But in the next month, which is February, so how this 6 is coming, let's just test this. So minus 3 months minus 3 months is I only have available January. Okay, so in January I have the revenue as 1, and the current month which is February, I have sales revenue of 2. Now the revenue for March, which is the next month, it is 3. So what will be shown in the February month's rolling sales? Let's just color this so we'll understand it better. This will be current month plus minus 3, which is January, since I only have January, okay, and plus 1, which means March sales. So it will come to 6. Okay, so this is 6. It gets validated. Now let's check for another month. I have it as February, then March and April. So for February I have sales of 2, March sales of 3, and April I have sales of 4. In January month I have 1. So how this 10 is coming, let's see. So in the month of February we have validated this figure, but in the month of March we will do it as current month is March, so my sales is 3, previous 2 months, which means January's revenue and February's revenue, 1 plus 2, and the next month, which is April, which is 4, so it will come to 10. Alright, so this is 10 over here. So this goes on. So this is how you can take out the rolling sales by using this business rule. Alright, so this was all for today's session. I hope you all understood how to use these business rules for rolling operating revenue and rolling revenue for the 12 months. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you and have a great day.